Guru Raya
Yogi Ram
Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raja Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama Rama Ram Rama Rama Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Rama Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Jaya Guru Raya Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama 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 Ram Rama Rama யோகிநாத் ரத்குமார் யோகிநாத் ரத்குமார் யோகிநாத் ரத்குமார் ஜெய குருராயா ராம 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 Yogi Rama 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। Once again, we have all been blessed with the fortune of singing His powerful name to the tune of His dancing. I have no idea how many of you watch this, how many of you have been able to feel His dancing around and bless Him. It's a great, great fortune. And with deep gratitude, in celebration of this grace, this fortune, we have offered our Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. But for His grace, how is this possible? To be able to feel His presence, His dancing presence, in all His glory. For some time now, we have been going through some stories that were read out to Bhagavan in Sudama. So many people used to send so many books over those 7 years. We kept getting by post different books from different ashrams, from different people. And there were many, many that he wanted us to read out to him. Now today is another story which is very relevant to all of us with a great teaching. We shall see what it is. There was a king. He was a very virtuous king ruling his vast kingdom, a Dharmavan. And he was particularly fond of feeding the poor people and the Vedic Brahmins. Every day, thousands of people would be fed. And he, even though he was a king, he would go and stand there personally and hand out the food to everyone. And with great pleasure, in such humility, in the spirit of feeding God Himself. But as it happened, one day, when he was standing there near that huge vessel, distributing food, in the sky there was a scene. A vulture was flying, and there was a snake holding on to its feet. And the snake was being strangled by that. It was slowly dying, and in the pain, he spat the poison. The snake spat out the poison, and it happened again that as they were flying right over the food vessel, the poison fell into the food. Imagine a huge vessel with such tasty, tasty food, and handed out by the king himself, the emperor. And suddenly such a thing should happen. But then these things happen. Life is like that. And the poor king, he did not know what had come, what had fallen into the food. Very happily he was serving it. And at that time, a Vedic Brahmin came to that place, and he stretched out his plate, and the king served the food. Because the Brahmin took the food to a nearby tree and started to eat. And soon he was overcome by a certain strange feeling and he swooned and died. He fell dead. And then after that, these people ran there and they found out that he had been poisoned. You can imagine what rumors would start from this, how everybody bandied about the king, and it went around that the king would feed people and the people would die. What a shame for someone who was very sincere and humble and was very generous. These things happen in life. Very bad time for the king. But still, he would not stop it. He went ahead as usual, but the crowd had reduced very much. Now, whenever the Brahmins entered the kingdom with the hope of getting food and some money, there was an old lady living near the border, and they would come and ask her how to get to the palace of the king. And she would say, "Oh, this king is great, generous. Of course he's feeding everybody, but after that he would kill them." What a thing to say. The Brahmins, of course, would be very agitated, and then they would decide against going further, and they would leave the place. She began to do it systematically. The evil woman went about spreading a very bad name for the king who was protecting the whole kingdom, including herself. Now, in the meantime, after the death of the Brahmin, it is always considered as the worst sin to kill a Brahmin. So now Dharma Devata, the god of death, would mete out the judgment, was in a dilemma. He did not know how to decide because the king was innocent. He did not mean to do it. He was not even aware that the poison had fallen into the food. And so now he, because he was free from this, he did not bother. He thought it was all the will of God, and whatever was going to happen, it was okay with him, and he would face it. He would submit himself to the punishment. Such was the mindset of the king. He was honest, sincere, humble, and a great devotee of God. Now it was Dharma Devata who was in dilemma, who did not know how to decide who was to be blamed for the death of the Brahmin. The Dharma Devata decided to stay in the place for some more time and then decide he wanted to find somebody who would deserve the kind of punishment for the killing of a Brahmin. And that's when he came across this old lady, this evil woman, spreading the rumor that the king would feed the Brahmins first and then kill them. Now by then the lady had accumulated enough and more sin by spreading this evil rumor and stopping the Brahmins from entering the country. Then the Dharma Devata decided that it is she who should be punished for that. Now, this was the story that she deserved. There is a saying, you are served what you deserved. The king was innocent and pure and didn't even think about it, and yet he was ready to face the consequences. But here was the lady who was earning a very good name because of the rumor that she was spreading. Everybody thought she was well-meaning. But she was spreading this vicious rumor. Dharmadevata gave the punishment to this lady. Now the story tells us that the sin of talking ill of people, especially the good ones, deserves the greatest punishment. The Shastras, the scriptures say that when you talking ill of people itself is a sin, especially when they are absent. And the scriptures say, when you talk ill of a great soul, 50% of the sin would come to you. And more if he did not, if the great soul had not committed any sin at all, then the share is even more. Remember, the law of karma, it's relentless. Every word we speak would go into the cosmic register. I've been telling this so many times. Bhagavan Yogiram Saratkumar used to say there's an invisible cosmic register, and every word uttered by everybody would go into that register. There's a Devata responsible for this, who would be alert, watchful, and be with every creature to note down their account. So the scriptures say, do not speak ill of anybody. You should be even more alert when that person is a great one, because you imbibe that sin and you have to pay for it. It would be the worst hell if you utter a word of abuse. You can be very sure the word is just waiting around the corner to come back to you in your most vulnerable moment. And if you have only a word of praise for somebody, you can be sure that the word is waiting too to come back to you, to glorify you further in your moment of glory. So the story tells us never to speak, never to find fault with people, never to speak ill of them. Whenever we interact with people, there is always an exchange. If you speak sweet words to them, you can be sure their punya will come to you. A part of their punya, part of their merit would come to you. And if you speak ill of them, part of their sin will come to you, without your committing any sin. So we have to be very, very cautious. If there are people around to praise you, you can be sure that you would be losing some of your merits, you hard-earned merit, to them. And if people abuse you around, be grateful, because they're going to take away some of your worst sins from you. There is a story of Shishupala. Krishna, he was abusing Lord Krishna all the time. His mother, Shishupala's mother, knew that Krishna would one day kill him. So she went and appealed to Krishna. Look, no matter what my son says about it, he's doing it in ignorance. Please bear with it. Krishna said, there's this law, and I cannot cross it. But I'll give you a promise, because you appeal to me. I shall bear 100 words of abuse, but after that I will kill him. The mother agreed. And of course, as the story goes, Shishupala, in a darbar, in a court, a king's court, would humiliate Krishna with 100 words of abuse. And after that, his Sudarshana Chakra would go straight to Shishupala, and he would be beheaded. So remember, when you talk ill of people, Sudarshana Chakra of Bhagwan is waiting around. He would never know when it would come upon you. This is the moral of the story. Especially the tongues that chant the name of the divine should be very careful. The same tongue should not talk ill of people. We shall now submit our today's prayer at the lotus feet of Bhagwan, having learned a very important lesson of life. In Kali Yuga, there is a concession. What? If evil thoughts, however evil, come to you, you will not punished. That will not be taken into account by the Devata. The Shastras say, in Kali Yuga, only the words and actions will be taken into account. Evil words, evil actions will bear fruit. Luckily, because in Kali Yuga, most of us would have only bad thoughts. The Kali means dark. So it's a dark age. People are naturally violent. We cannot help it. So let's be careful and offer our today's prayer. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, a million times, for that's all we can do, and that we do with great faith, that prayer made in your powerful shrine will be realized sooner or later, and let's hope it's sooner than later. We beg you for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world in all aspects of life. The world as it is today is frightening. So much violence everywhere and growing enmity. And there's already the war. And again, sudden attacks of vicious diseases, killer diseases. And of course, the furies of nature like forest fire, earthquake, the lightning, and flash floods and whatnot. We beg you to bring in peace, harmony, order, and growing friendship and brotherhood, mutual understanding and help. Only you can do that. And Bhagwan, we beg you again to have good control, to keep under control the attacks of violent, vicious diseases and violence of nature. We beg you, Bhagwan, again, to uproot all the negativities of the human mind which are responsible for today's world. We beg you again to reach out to those people who have been stranded in varied parts of the world for some reason or the other, some past karma or the other. Though they may belong to different countries, speak different languages and embrace different religions, they have been there crying out without any help or protection. We beg you to reach out to them and do the needful. We also beg you, for the sake of all those unselfish people who have been doing hard work for the sake of the others. Protection from what? From unhealthy reproaches, unhealthy rumors like this old lady who was spreading such vicious rumor everywhere. And aspersion, because they put a block in the constructive work of these great souls. We also beg you to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity, like science, technology, fine arts and culture, and above all spirituality, that India would one day reach that wonderful status of world teacher, to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. We pray to you in all earnestness and sincerity for ceaseless chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of the Leelas and your teachings. As we bring them more and more to the mind, they will percolate into the depths of our being and be converted into Atma Shakti. Bhagavan, we all know that every creature of the cosmos is your creation. You alone exist. Bhagavan used to say, my Father alone exists, there is nothing else and no one else. So every creature is only an instrument. You are the role player. You play the role of every creature, every human being. You play the role of the evil people and the good people. We beg you to bless us to be sattvic instruments in your hands, and that we should run our everyday life as an offering to you. Bhagavan, please bless us not to be tempted by the snares of Maya. We seek that ultimate state of bliss and peace of yours, but then we need to be purified. Purified of what? Passion, kama, krodha, anger, vicious anger, vengeful anger, and fear. You know, it's a killer fear sometimes. And jealousy and growing desires for worldly possessions. Sometimes we cheat people and hoard money, and all that money would become diseases to you and get spent in the hospital finally. Anything that is not yours will be taken away in a very cruel manner, especially when you attain it by ill means. So we need to be purified of all this. We take refuge in your powerful name and ceaseless chanting of it with ananda. We also take refuge in joyful service without any unhealthy competition or jealousy. Wherever you are, in whichever country you are, whatever work falls into your hand, be it home or forest or a temple or an ashram, whatever work that you get that falls into your hand, think that it is His work. After all, it is He who has created the whole cosmos. Every work in the cosmos is His. So in the bhava, in the attitude that every work is His seva, do it joyfully, and that in the spirit of surrender to Him. Bhagavan, please bless us to do so, so that all the work that we do in this world, what we call drudgery of the work, even that would get converted into Atma Shakti. And finally, we seek your blessings for the practice of acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or grief. Coming from you, it can only be a great blessing, and that we should be able to accept it as a blessing meant for our spiritual growth, because it's only in suffering we turn to God. So it's meant for our greater good and closer kinship with God. As we progress, we'll be able to see the pulsating, vibrant, living presence of God everywhere and in everything. We also seek your blessings to be able to see your will behind all the happenings of life, all the happenings of the world. It is your grand plan that is at work all the time. Bhagavan, more importantly, please bless us to be able to see that hidden grace even in the most disastrous experience of our lives. When they happen, all of a sudden, we collapse and we resent God and begin to blame everyone else for our own failures, little realizing that all our sufferings are of our own making. They are the past karmas playing up. But Bhagavan has promised, Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar has promised, those who chant His name and do seva, his seva, his father would convert all the adversities into great blessings. Bhagavan, please bless us to be grateful to you all the time, even for the adversities of life. We seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have been seeking only solutions all the time for our endless problems of life now seek dissolution. Dissolution of what? The root cause of all evil is our ego, the utter selfishness of I and mine. We should be free from the tyranny of the ego, to be free from the vicious cycle of births and deaths. We beg you to bless us with that immortal life, that eternal living, an eternal servitude to you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Yogi Ram Sarit Kumar.